Test, test. This mic is working. Actually, I think I'll just move this and move it over. Yeah, clap, everybody clap a little bit. Okay, now we need to get a line level, so we need everybody to be absolutely quiet. Denny's.
How quiet?
Denny's dick. Denny's dick. Okay. All right. Denny's dick. Denny's dick. My dick. I only have one pen, so I may ask for another pen at some point. If we need another pen, I just want to make sure, can someone come through? Okay, I'm going to give a signal so that I don't have to, and it will be like this. If you see that, then you know that I need a pen. And just try and hand it down, like, kind of, okay, all right. I think, Danny's stick. The start time for the show is 8:55. It's That American Life, brought to you by Washington Improv Theater here in Washington, D.C., the capital of America, or rather the United States of America. But in some ways we are exploring all of America, focusing on the United States of America. In particular, the experiences, situations, and compelling moments in the lives of Americans. You, me, and everyone we know who is American. With that, I'd like to get the show started. And to get the show started, what I was wondering is if there's anybody out here tonight who read something interesting. Did I mention that my name is Stuart Walsh? I'm Stuart Walsh. So, I would like, so is there anyone out there tonight who would be okay to just share a little something on stage? Just if you read something interesting this week, something that you found compelling, odd, quirky, reminded you of something, made you think, and if you'd just be willing to come down for a moment, and anybody, is there anybody who would just come down and, anybody? Oh, right there. Okay, so we want, hi, you are?
I'm Jenny.
Jenny, okay, just get that part, okay, great. So Jenny, yeah. What we're interested in is, something that you perused this week and you thought to yourself,
Okay, I recently discovered that a very common form of identity fraud involves stealing a child's identity and using it as a form of getting access to healthcare. So a lot of kids under the age of 18, something like 10 to 15% of them have had their identities stolen specifically for that purpose.
10 to 15%.
Wikipedia.
It's Jenny, right?
Yeah.
Jenny, that is crazy. That means that in a typical first grade class, you've got like 2 or 3 identity theft victims. I mean, when you go through the mess of, imagine a first grader having to like call all these credit unions. Anyway, Jenny, this is awesome. All right, I want to thank you so much. It's Jenny, right?
Yeah.
Yes, no, it is Jenny.
Probably.
It is. We can change it. I mean, I wrote it down. Okay, great. Jenny, thank you so much. You can go back. Give her a hand. Whoa. Okay, this is huge. This is statistics. This is now.
Yeah.
This is healthcare.
Yeah, right.
You know, so we got.
Statistics are wrong.
Yeah.
It's gotta be wrong.
This made me think of Obamacare, right?
Of course.
I want to find like a Fox News Tea Partier who is benefiting from it. And I want to find a left-of-linen liberal who fell through the safety net. And I want to see where they are now.
Okay, yes.
I have a close personal friend who their mother actually stole their identity. Getting fucking credit cards under their child's name. Tragic.
That's crazy.
It's tragic.
Let's talk to her. Let's talk to her.
Yeah, let's find
I'll find her.
her. Okay, all right, Brian. Okay, Catherine, yeah.
Every child's fantasy of being somebody else's child. That's not my that is not my mom.
That's true, because these kids whose identities were stolen, right? Maybe they're adopted.
Maybe they're like, thank
God could
Yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe they're they're having the time of their life in someone else's
What
body.
if you put one of those kids into the family of the person who stole their identity?
Yes.
That's
Assimilation.
investigative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Denny, you're gonna investigate this switcheroo.
Yeah, I want to call it, thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama.
That's right, just a second.
One is with an exclamation.
Yes, thanks, Obama.
And a question.
But the explanation quite sarcastic, and the other.
They're both,
Yeah.
They're both
Yeah,
super
what's
sarcastic.
This.
It's scary.
I think we should call Ryan's "Give Me Some Credit."
I was gonna say, Mama, can you hear me? Either or.
Editorial
Maybe,
choice.
yeah, maybe.
Editorial choice.
So I'm used to it.
I'm gonna go with Mama, give me some credit.
Oh, good.
Okay, all right, Catherine. I don't even get yours yet. So we need a title for it, and then we're just gonna dive in.
Family unties.
Family.
Nice. Got it.
Excellent.
Family Ties. Okay, what's this show called?
Not kidding around.
Not
Kidding around.
Kidding around. Not kidding around. Not kidding around. Just a second. It starts with those. We've all been there. We've had our times when we have had our identities stolen, had moments in our lives where we've had to deal with things beyond our control. And what those things are saying is, we're not kidding around. And the story, or the show tonight, is called Not Kidding Around. Our story in 3 acts. First off, Danny Johnson. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama.
The year was 2008. There was a healthcare crisis in this country that had been brewing for 3 decades. A new Democratic president had just come into office and promised hope and change. On the right, a Kenyan Muslim socialist was about to force socialism on the masses. On the left, a white knight, nay, half-white knight, was riding in to save the day and bring health and hope to millions. Where are we, lo, these many years later, after Obamacare has passed? To get to the bottom of this, I wanted to talk to people at both extremes. Extremes, indeed. I called up Carl Rodriguez. Carl is a registered Democrat in the state of Nevada who was a staunch supporter of the president's until recently. Carl, hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, Carl, tell us a little bit about what's happened since Obamacare, or as you call it, Obama Scare, has passed.
Well, I signed up for some Obamacare to get me some pills for my muscle cramps.
Sure. And Carl, can you tell us a little bit about your malady?
Yeah, I got a condition that's called microalophasia.
Now, let me stop you there. Listeners, microalophasia affects 1 in 20,000 Americans, and there is currently no cure. Carl, what are the main symptoms? What happens to your body?
Well, in microalophasia, you can only use your muscles for about 10 minutes out of the day.
Thank you for talking to me.
Yes, introduce yourself for our listeners.
I'm Carl's wife. I'm his wife. I'm the wife of someone with microalopecia.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? You also have it.
No, I'm the wife of him. I feel like I have it because he has it and we're married and share everything. But sometimes he doesn't spend those 10 minutes with me.
As you can see, this malady has taken a toll on the marriage of the Rodriguezes. Carl, what
If
happened?
you could only use your muscles for 10 minutes out of the day, wouldn't you want to get at least one jack off in? I mean, like mutual congress with one's spouse is one thing, but I've had that, and I've loved it for 23 years, but congress with myself is something I've had now 35 years. Am I supposed to give that up in my 10 minutes of capable movement every day? I ask you, Danny.
I don't know. Let me take you back to when you first signed up for Obamacare, and what has your experience been since then?
Well, after about, 3 or 4 minutes jacking off, I got on my computer, and, it took about 3 or 4 minutes for it to boot up. So once I got to the website, and it took about a minute for it to load, I only had 1 minute on that website to browse for plans. And then I was done.
We all remember the rollout of Obamacare and healthcare.gov. It afflicted him in ways that we couldn't imagine given his daily jack-off sessions.
Sandra Bates with the CDC.
Sandra, can you tell us more about the rollout of healthcare.gov and Obamacare?
It was something we are not proud of. I've actually followed the Carlos Rodriguez case because the plan that he signed up for was one of our bottom plans.
I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you there. Ladies and gentlemen, bottom plan is the CDC's vernacular for you ain't gonna get no health care.
Danny, it actually says that on the site, but his eye muscles had stopped working.
Clearly, the government did not think of his affliction when they were creating the website.
No, and Denny, we've made a lot of progress. Now when you log in, all the words are smushed together really tightly. There's only one button per page, and if you rapidly click it all the way to the end, you will get the best plan. So we know now that there's a lot of people afflicted with microalopecia. There are also some people whose eyes don't work well, and we want to include them too.
Thank you, Doctor. Well, to get the other side of this coin, I wanted to speak to a member of the Tea Party, someone who thought Obama was literally the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
Is this on?
This is...
Oh my god, I've never been. What do you call this?
This is a podcast.
Oh, liberals. Love it, love it.
Ma'am, can you introduce yourself for our listeners?
I am Shelly Schuppenpegan, and I love Sarah Palin.
And Mrs. Schuppenpegan, can you tell us about your experience signing up for Obamacare and any success you've had in the past few years?
I didn't do it. I tried when it first launched. I was reading, I'll never forget the day. I was reading Sarah Palin's book. Have you read it?
Freedom means freedom for everyone, especially me. That book?
That's it. I was reading that book. I clicked on the website, it didn't work. I brought my son in. He said,
Derek Schuppenpegan? Do you want to tell us about helping your mom sign up for
Okay,
Obamacare?
yes, fine. I don't know. My mom was like, if you want to play video games today, you're gonna help me out with this website. Okay.
Derek, I'm going to have to ask you to enunciate a little.
I don't know what
Can you speak
enunciate
a
is.
little? Thank you.
That's my mom. She wanted to log on the website.
I interrupted Derek there. Give you the gist. He was playing video games and his mom wanted help signing up to the website. Mrs. Schuppenpegan, isn't it true that you have had amazing success in using Obamacare since the rollout?
honestly, I'm going to be honest right now. I was a little miffled because my little son, that little shit, signed me up for Obamacare.
Well, it's the law.
But
It's the law, you have to have health.
that can't be true.
And that's the whole thing, is that it's the law now, and you have to have it.
Have you read Sarah Palin's book?
Yes, Alaska's Wonders.
I haven't finished it. How is the ending?
I haven't finished it either, I'm sorry. I'm just a Juno at this point.
Okay, well, I'm sure she covers it in there, but I haven't read that part.
But ma'am, can you tell us, you have had amazing success using Obamacare.
Oh yeah, it's been great. When I broke my femur bone on a pool, they patched me up in no time, like a jiff, as I say.
How is your femur today?
Keep on feming on, that's what I always say.
There you have it, folks. Whether you're on the right or the left, never hold true to your beliefs, because they may change when the government rolls out another program.
That was Jenny Johnson with Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama. Next, parents, children. What an interesting relationship that is. Sometimes parents do more to their children than just give them milk and love. And sometimes they take more than just love and shit. Sometimes they take identities. Right next, Ryan Kroll with Mama, give me some credit.
When I was a young boy in the swamp waters of Florida, I thought to myself, you know, this is great. We go to Gatorland all the time. My aunt brings me to some sort of weird circus thing.
That was not a circus. Those were my friends. That was my Pachisi group.
That's my Aunt Robin Shinobi.
So do not tell lies about me on the radio. That's for your mother to do. I hate your mother.
Robin, that's not true. I saw you at the wedding.
I know. I was crying. I was.
You were hugging
yes,
and kissing.
Yes, I was. So,
my Aunt Robin, you know, she had a different relationship with her son.
he was not a good son. Wishy-washy. I didn't know who he was. I gave him the name Brian. But he didn't seem like a Brian, but then he just folded under the pressure of life and just became a nobody, a nothing, Mr. Nothing, Mr. Nobody.
I don't want to cut you off, but do you think you maybe just added a B onto my name because you thought I was such a great kid? I'm not fishing.
Brian? Oh, I never put that together.
Yeah.
Brian.
Anyways, back to the story.
Hey, cousin Ryan.
Hey, Joseph, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm going by Joseph now, because Brian is too close to your name, and she keeps mixing up our names.
It's tough.
So yeah, Mom like stole my identity and stuff.
I said, let's not talk about this at the wedding, so I called him a few weeks later.
Hey again, cousin Ryan.
Hey, stop FaceTiming me every fucking 5 seconds.
What's the big deal? My friends FaceTime all the time.
That's weird.
Okay.
Okay, it's great to talk. So, a little bit more about Aunt Robin. What happened?
Yeah, well, Mom really likes these shoes that are like they're like clear plastic.
Anyway, she keeps saying it's sort of the new nude wedge. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, they're really expensive, and she maxed out all her other credit cards, buying bounce houses. You know how she likes the bounce house.
That is a slander perpetrated by Joseph. He's calling himself Joseph now.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, Amy. I need you to be truthful with me.
I will.
What are the bounce houses for?
All right, I'm going to tell you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
What kind of show is this?
It's a podcast.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you the first moment that Joseph spent in my life was obviously his birth. He came out sideways.
I'm gonna back you up for just 1 second.
Okay.
So his shoulder came out with his arm, and then his head and feet came out at the same
His
time.
hip and his shoulder came out at the same time.
Okay.
And the bounce houses are a metaphor for the vaginal walls that I'm trying to get the spring back into, you know? I'm trying to re-spring the floor in there.
Yeah, this is Officer Cartwright. We booked.
Officer Cartwright was the first one on the scene when all the bounce houses arrived.
Yeah, we tracked her back to Wacky Larry's Bounce House and Waterbed Emporium. She was on camera using the identity of one Brian Joseph Chauvin,
Just to stop the podcast for a second. Joseph was actually his middle name.
Irregardless, we booked her on a 587, which is the new Florida code of using his son's identity to buy non-durable goods.
I was worried that this was maybe a common occurrence in Florida.
Yeah, it is. Ever since the gator industry went out, a lot of mothers turning to white-collar crime and perpetrating the sons' identities. Not a lot of daughters, mostly sons. What makes them easy to find.
How many cases have you come across?
I've personally handled Baker's dozen. That's in Orlando
That's
County
6
alone.
cases.
That's 13 cases.
That's 13
And my wife is a...
I had Florida education, I'm sorry.
So she's awaiting trial. She's currently in lockup. She was unable to make bail. And so, from what I understand, she's had 0 visits so far from said
Brian Joseph.
I visited her in the Women's Correctional in Tallahassee, Florida. Pick up the phone. Put the microphone to the phone.
I'm scared.
Don't be
You
scared.
do not know what goes on in here. Okay, fine. Did you bring me anything?
I didn't, because we're not allowed to.
Oh, not allowed? Oh my God.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I apologize.
that was customary there.
I got shocked. I wear a shock collar in here.
Florida recently passed a few new laws. So how's it going? I mean,
Well, it's going terrible. It's wonderful. It's changing my life. I'm rehabilitated 100%.
I just want to stop you. You don't seem to even be fazed by the shockings.
Well, when your vagina has been through what mine has been through, a little shock in the neck is nothing. Sideways. Just think about it.
I get it. I
I
don't
want you
get
to
it.
think about it a little more. I want you to get a visual.
No, please.
Yeah, this is Doreen. Yeah, that's my bitch. Yeah, there's something good to be said about that kid coming out sideways. Yeah, it took us a while to figure that out, but then I did.
Doreen, would you say that?
Yeah, who are you? You nice. I'm hungry.
This is for a podcast.
What's that? Does it have food?
It's not like the commissary, no.
Kama Sutra. Yeah. That's something I read up in this library. It's intense.
We've been on like that for a good 4 hours. I slowly brought Jeffrey's mom back.
So you talked to Doreen.
Mhm.
She's a lovely woman.
She's not.
She's lovely.
She's crazy
She
as
is
fuck.
lovely.
She's crazy.
She is.
At this time, I just want to acknowledge that this went on for the next 3 hours.
No, she's.
I just don't-
You know, it's fine. Don't worry. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Do you miss your son? Let me get back to the podcast. Do you miss your son?
Of course, I miss my son.
Okay. Well, why are you sorry? I'll tell him.
Why am I sorry?
Why are you sorry?
Well,
I'm sorry.
just tell him that a mother's love is as strong and resilient as a uterus springing back to life. Just tell him that. He'll know what it means.
Her vagina never was the same. And I knew she really grew as a person and as a mother.
That's Brian. Oh, Mama, give me some credit. Just as a follow-up, there is no follow-up. She's still in prison. Finally, we have one of our multi-talented That American Life producers delivering a personal portion of something that is going to be in her upcoming book of essays, Sands of Pomona. Catherine Denman with Family Ties.
Family unties.
Family Unties.
Family unties. When I was a little girl, as like most kids, I think, because I've been talking to like my friends and stuff, and I remember my friends at the time, we would all fantasize about whose child we really were. You know, there were times Paul Schofield was my grandfather. People probably don't know who he is, but he was my grandfather, but he really wasn't. But I spend a lot of time thinking about it. My first father was Mickey Mouse. I swear to God. How is that even possible? He's a tiny little cartoon character. But I wanted him for a dad. I wanted him like crazy. And so I had to talk to my mom about it.
Hi,
honey.
Hi, Mom.
How are you? Are you eating?
I'm on the pod
I
here.
want to make sure you're eating.
I am eating, Mom.
You were real thin the last time I saw
I was not. Can you talk to me about, I don't know if you remember, like I had that obsession with Mickey Mouse when I was...
Honey, that's all I can remember. You wore those ears around the house and said, I'm Mickey's spawn, I'm Mickey's spawn. Should have never got you that word-a-day calendar in the third
Do you think that Dad, I mean, maybe you don't even know this, like I really wanted Mickey Mouse to be my dad.
Yeah, no, your father got the message. It's probably why you hightailed it out with Esmeralda, the housekeeper.
Oh, that was my fault.
Yeah, hey, Catherine, how's it
Okay,
going?
baby, he's so cute.
Hey, Dad.
That's Esmeralda.
I'm just going to pause the conversation for
At
a
this
minute.
time, I just want to acknowledge that, affairs exist, that's all.
I want to interrupt and just say I have never spoken to Esmeralda, but every time I've spoken to my dad, she has been braying into his ear. Dad, can I have your undivided attention, please?
Yes, Catherine, you have my undivided. Oh, yes.
Dad, no, I have a serious question. I have a serious question. When I say I wish my dad,
I'm listening.
when I say I'm Mighty Mouse's,
Serious headache for more loving.
Gotta talk to my daughter just a few more minutes.
Dad,
Love something.
Dad,
Yeah, go ahead, Catherine, I'm listening.
when I say I am the spawn of Mickey Mouse, what does that mean?
Oh, yes. Yes, Esmeralda. Oh, that's so good.
Now that went on for
Go
about
ahead,
an
Catherine.
hour. And
Okay, Catherine, I'm back. Esmeralda's asleep.
Dad, I heard everything. I heard everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't figure out how to turn off this newfangled phone you sent me.
Dad, what do you think of when I say I wish my dad had been Mighty Mouse? I'm starting to
Ooh. Back on that, huh? All the cartoon mice. The one for fathers instead of me. You can feel real inadequate, Catherine. Why do you have to go off and find a Brazilian mistress?
That was my fault?
Yes!
Are you saying that was my fault?
It was
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, listen, honey, I'm for immigration. I don't care. They're not coming to get our jobs, they're coming to get our husbands. That's what problems mean. I want you to imagine, what if you said to your father that Speedy Gonzales should be your father? That's what I'm saying. That's the quid pro quo in this.
I had no idea what my mom was talking about.
I mean, at least Speedy Gonzales is fast.
So I decided that I just needed to face my fears, right? So I got Esmeralda on the phone. By herself.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, it's Catherine. You are not my stepmom.
What?
You are not my stepmom.
Who are you?
You are not my stepmom.
Why does this number keep calling me? I do not have any debts to you.
I am...
Unsubscribe. Why you not hang up when I press 2? Baby, why should not hang up when I press 2?
This went on for 3 hours.
Who are you? Why can I not hang up this stupid phone?
I am your boyfriend's daughter.
I do not have a boyfriend, I have a lover. You do not know me, you have the wrong number. Please, stop calling. I'm so bored with this.
And then I realized why I wanted anyone to be my dad but my dad. So much so that I had to resort to a cartoon, not even a good cartoon. Just anything a child will latch onto to cling to life in the hope that there is something better and does not involve a Venezuelan woman, or excuse me, Brazilian woman. Sexual exploits with your dad. It was too much. And so, whenever anyone asks me who my dad is, I say it's Mighty Mouse. And I let them think what they want.
That was Catherine Bennett. Unties. Again, this is that is being excerpted from her essay collection, Sands of Pomona, which will be out in November at bookstores everywhere and Amazon. Producers tonight for the show were Catherine Dedman, Dennis Johnson, Jackie Felice is out tonight. Ryan Kroll was in, and Jack Novak was here. Caroline Petit was the one wearing the smock. In absentia producers are Jules Duffy and Jamie Lanton, who are raising the next generation of podcasters. That is, that they had kids. Justice Hammond, who had a paying gig tonight. We want to make a special heartfelt shout out to Kate Symes, who could not be here tonight because her very long time cat, what's it called?
Kitty.
Kate is extremely not well, so she's with that. We want to thank Jenny for sharing the story with us tonight. We want to. I guess I'm going to thank myself for playing music that we didn't get permission to play. Commonwealth is directed by Michael Johnson. WIT's artistic director is Mark Shelfon, who has been known every once in a while to just kick back and say,
You gotta get at least one jack off every day.
I'm Stuart Walsh, and that was That American Life.